Hi guys, we're gonna be doing another clean with me video while I talk to you guys about some things that have nothing to do with cleaning. And I'm gonna be kind of decorating this bedroom a little bit. This bedroom, if you could see what I can see, it is so bad. Every single item of clothing we have is on the floor. Adult diapers right there from when I was postpartum. I'm in my jammies. I've got my microphone again, so we have good audio. These jammies, by the way, I'll talk to you about them in a minute. They are so good. I saw Michaela actually talk about these, you know, Michaela Noguera, and she was like, you need these jammies if you're short. No, you need these jammies if you're short. They're from Victoria's Secret. They're so good. Are they the most flattering thing I've ever worn? Yes. No, not at all, but cozy, perfect. Want 55 pairs? Yes. Clean this bedroom as best I can today. Bring you guys with me because it keeps me accountable, keeps me doing the task, makes it feel like I'm talking to a friend. We're gonna clean this room. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about why I'm breathing so hard when all I did was walk up the stairs. And I'm also gonna be talking to you guys about why I have to change my sheets, which is because my 3-year-old decided to get out of the bath this morning, run around the room naked, having the time of his life, thought it was so super fun, stood up on our bed, took a giant pee right all over the bed. So now we have to change the bedding, but that's perfect because today's sponsor is Brooklinen, which is where I get all of my bedding from. I'm putting on a new comforter and new pillows because he also, yeah, he peed all over the pillow too. So I'm gonna toss on my Brooklinen sheets and talk to you guys about those, and then I have some things I wanna talk about. Mainly that I cannot stop eating. That is gonna be one of the biggest discussions in this video. So content warning, trigger warning, warning in general. I'm gonna be talking a lot about and I talked about this a little bit on my Instagram the other day, and so many of you guys were like, dude, same. I have to make some changes. And what better to do than talk about it to a bunch of strangers on the internet? So if you guys have never purchased from Brooklinen, I have been using them for like the last year. They are so good. They sell sheets, they sell comforters, towels, bedding. They have everything that you need to sleep well. Such good products. So I bed share with my son and I sleep really hot. He sleeps really cold. He likes to be bundled up. I like to be 1 foot covered. I just get really hot when I'm sleeping. So when choosing a down comforter, I chose all season. They have 3 different options that you can choose from: lightweight, all season, and ultra warm. I thought all season would be perfect because it's kind of the middle of the road. They call it the Goldilocks of comforters. It's ideal for most sleepers, most months. They have loops on every corner to attach duvet covers to. And also for the pillows, I got the down alternative pillows. They have double stitched edges for added durability. They're allergy and budget friendly, and they're so silky smooth, 100% cotton sateen shell. All right, let's test this sucker out. Oh my Lord, holy comfort. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. Oh, I wanna cry. I wanna take a nap, but I can't. And I wish I would have got them sooner because they feel absolutely incredible. If you guys are looking to get anything from Brooklinen, right now they're having a special sale. From December 7th to December 10th, you can get 25% off of all of their ultimate bestsellers. So that includes their comforters, their luxe sateen products, their super plush towels and robes. And you guys can use the link in the description of this video if you guys are wanting to check out anything from Brooklinen. Thank you again so much for sponsoring today's video and for continuing to partner with me and for having the best bedding. We love it so much. I sleep on Brooklinen sheets every night, and now comforter too. We're gonna hop into the rest of the video where we are gonna talk very real life stuff. So I got this lamp from Target, and this is what it looks like. It's a big, tall floor lamp, and it has a shelf. And that's gonna be so nice because I want to have, oh, it's really nice. It's like actual marble. I wanna have something next to my bed where I can set my phone to charge. I just lay it on my bed at night, but it would be nice to have a place to like set my son's cup. We're just setting it in the windowsill now. So I said there were some things that I wanted to talk about in the beginning of this. I was like, you know what? I want to get some things off my chest. I talked a little bit about it on Instagram the other day, and so many of you guys could relate. Like I said, content warning, I am going to be talking about weight gain, weight loss, overeating, things like that. I'm also going to be talking about it in regards to mental health. So just a warning, I made a video, this was back in August, talking about how we had a really big tragedy in the family. And I didn't mention what it was in that video out of respect for my sister, who was the one experiencing it. After I posted that video, she's like, you totally could have said what it was. And I was like, well, I didn't want to do that. And she was like, no, feel free. I want like people to know, like it's such a topic that nobody talks about. I had briefly mentioned what had happened back in August, but my sister lost her baby, and it was completely unexpected. I mean, as it always is, but it was very late, and it wasn't anything, it was absolutely beyond horrific. Like, I can talk about it now, but it was so horrendous. Like I can't. And so that was back in August. And at the same time, my husband was going through some heart issues. He's never had anything wrong with his heart. It was completely out of nowhere and shocking. He developed a condition called pericarditis, which is inflammation around the lining of your heart. And all of this was within a 1 week period. The reason I bring all of that up is because that is when I can pinpoint when I started overeating. And yeah, it's been a really interesting thing because I deal with anxiety, and you guys all know that. If you followed my channel or you've been here for a while, you know that I have an anxiety disorder that I'm being treated for and have been since 2021. And so I am very well versed in what that feels like for me because I've had it my entire life, and I'm only recently, since becoming a mom, started getting treated for it. But when I'm getting anxious or when I'm having a really, really hard time, I feel nauseous. So I naturally don't want to eat very much. Like food starts to quite literally taste like diarrhea to me. I can't force myself to eat. I tend to drop weight pretty quickly when that's the case because like I just can't eat. It's like the weirdest thing because I mean, obviously you can look at me right now and you're like, girl, you don't have a problem eating. And to that I say, that is true. So when I went through my mental health crisis of 2021, I lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. I could not eat. I am not exaggerating when I say food, like even the best foods in the world to me, foods that normally like I would be just vibing on, which ones that I love so much, I couldn't eat them. That's kind of what I'm used to. And I was at my lowest weight ever, at my most anxious, when I was struggling really bad with my mental health and mental illness. That was when I honestly got the most compliments about my figure, the most compliments about how I looked. People would tell me all the time, like, you look great. And lo and behold, what they didn't know is that was like the absolute worst I've ever felt in my entire life. Like mentally, oh my God, I couldn't eat. It's not that I was trying to lose weight. I just naturally was happening because I could not eat. I was so anxious, I couldn't even sleep. That is kind of what I'm used to as far as, you know, struggling usually means weight loss for me. And well, not anymore, because when my sister went through all of that back in August, I found comfort in one thing and one thing only: food. And you know what? I ate and I ate and I ate, and I have not stopped eating since August. Now, I still go to therapy 2 days a week. I do one session on Tuesdays in the morning of EMDR, and then I do my traditional talk therapy on Fridays. And so I am no stranger to asking for help when help is needed, which is exactly what I did. I did talk to my therapist because I was like, what's going on here? What's going on? Why can't I stop eating? I've done a lot of EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Basically, you're like taking any traumas that you've experienced and you're processing through them in therapy while moving your eyes or doing bilateral stimulation. Like I do tapping, I don't do the eye movement because we do it on Zoom. It has helped me so much with any traumas that I've been experiencing. So like just so many different things. Like my nervous system used to just be hardwired to be high all the time. I was just always struggling. I always felt like in fight or flight. Just for years, I was in fight or flight. I started doing EMDR, and what my therapist calls it is homeostasis. I reached a level of homeostasis. My nervous system is not activated anymore. So I just feel pretty good most of the time. Before I just felt like nervous and anxious and almost like you're about to get in a car crash, or you almost just got in a car crash, or like that feeling when you're being jolted awake, or like somebody explained it where like if you're in a chair and it starts to fall backwards, that feeling where you're like, oh, that feeling, but prolong it out for 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's what I used to feel like when I was super, 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 super anxious all the time. And now I feel what I assume is normal. All the therapy, the medications, all that stuff has really helped, like big time. So my nervous system has gotten to a level of homeostasis, is what she calls it. And now that the fear is mostly gone of that, I just be eating. And now it's almost like the opposite. It's almost like I'm so not afraid that I'm like, give me burgers and pizza and ice cream. And I've always had an issue with my weight in that I like food a lot. But it's more than just like liking food. I can't really describe it other than I'm comfort eating, and I can feel myself doing it. I can see the weight piling on. I cannot recognize myself when I look at myself in the mirror right now. I lost a whole bunch of weight on keto like in 2017 or 18, whatever. And I had been able to maintain most of that weight loss this entire time, like for 5 years. And here it comes right back on because I cannot care. I care. Obviously, I'm having this conversation with YouTube, but I can't like care hard enough. Yeah, that's the like, and I do, like I care to a moderate degree, but I don't know, man. It's like really starting to bother me because I need to care. It's not just about weight. At the end of the day, I know the whole, like one of my therapists talks about like health at every size, and then the other one is kind of like, she calls it mindful eating. Both I think are probably correct in their own ways. I'm well aware that you can be healthy and larger. I know that. I also know myself and can tell how absolutely terribly I'm eating. And baby, that ain't it. This isn't what that is. This is, I am self-sabotaging. I am eating all the things, and I'm eating so many of them that I'm like, are you okay? Are you well? Okay, well that looks all right, I think. Yeah, I just, man, I gotta get my life under control. And I know everybody's like, new year, new me. I feel like I have to. There's gonna be some major problems if I don't. Like I have to have some self-control here somewhere, and I'm not at all. Like, and I feel like this is a very taboo topic to talk about. And any time that you talk about like intentionally wanting to lose weight, people say it's rooted in fat phobia. I definitely was made fun of for my weight a lot growing up. And the reality is the majority of the time I don't actually care what I look like. I'm like breathing hard sitting here, okay? Come on. I do believe that a lot of people can have a larger frame and be healthy, but this is not what I feel like when I feel healthy. I have been healthy, and this feels unhealthy. So that's all I can really say is speaking for myself and my own size. If I exercised more and ate just more of a balanced diet, I feel like I'd be fine. And I think that's probably what I'll end up trying to do. Because right now, baby, I'm eating pasta. That's kind of it, literally pasta, bread, pizza, carbohydrates. I'm just living on carbohydrates. I was doing really well. And then all of that happened with my sister, and just, it was so bad. And you know, we were at the hospital for days, and in order to not be living on hospital food, I was ordering my sister anything she wanted during that time, like whatever is going to make you feel loved and cared for and comforted during this time. And so she would make her food requests and I would happily oblige, and I would place an order for her from wherever she wanted, and certain types of foods that they had to offer. You know, hospital kitchen was closing down, and we would be there to, you know, dealing with things until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We were ordering DoorDash from all different kinds of places, and I'd sit there and eat with her, and we would cry and we would talk, and it was just such an emotional time. And the only thing we found like a brief moment of comfort in was food. And I don't know, I'm not trying to make excuses. It's not an excuse, it's the reality. Like, I'm admitting it. It's not great, it's not healthy, it's not what I should be doing or want to be doing, but I cannot seem to find the willpower to actually make the positive change right now. And I've seen some people online doing like really, really well, and it does inspire me to want to care more, especially when I just notice that like I'm just uncomfortable. I think that's the only word I can use to describe it. I'm just really uncomfortable. A lot of my clothes aren't fitting anymore. And I'm just like, all right, time to make a change. But I want to make the change for the right reason. Like, I don't want to make a change because I'm like, oh, get skinny. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want this to be about what I look like. I want it to be about what I feel. And that's the thing, is like, I just am like, that's what I feel like. I just thought I would talk about it on YouTube because I have been very open in sharing how I feel about a lot of different things. Over the years, I've been very, very open to sharing my weight struggles and my mental health and my, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so this is no different. I've been on YouTube for 11 years, 12. That's the thing, is that this has become sort of like a video diary, and you can see, did I follow through? Did I not? You know, you guys can look back on videos from 10 years ago, me saying this exact same thing. It's been an ongoing struggle of mine. But you know, the craziest part is I would be so fascinated to know this. So, okay, I don't know if you guys saw that study that they did. I will try to link it if I can, or put it in here in a TikTok.
Are you ready to have your mind blown? Follow me down this rabbit hole. These are two identical twins. They're genetically identical, yet one of them is obese and the other one has a healthy weight. These mice are also twins. They're genetically identical, but they have the same problem. Now, both mice used to look like this until they took gut bacteria from this person and put it in this mouse. The diets did not change. They ate the same number of calories, the exact same diets, yet one of them maintained the healthy weight and one became obese. How's that possible? Here's something else that's even more curious. A woman with a healthy weight and a healthy lifestyle underwent what's called a C. diff transplant. This is where, because of a deficiency, they use stool from somebody's colon that's healthy and move it into her colon to help with the C. diff problem. Yeah, it's a fecal transplant, a poop transplant. It may sound strange, but it's life-saving. But this time, something went wrong. The donor of the feces was an obese individual, whereas the recipient had always maintained a healthy weight and a healthy lifestyle. After getting the transplant, she noticed she started to gain weight. Now, she didn't change her diet, she didn't change her caloric intake or her lifestyle. But over the next 12 months, she could not keep weight off. She gained weight until she was eventually obese as well. Through these studies, scientists were able to identify an anti-fat bacteria, Kristi. If you have this bacteria, it makes it very, very difficult to gain weight. If you lack this bacteria, it makes it much, much easier. Right now, inside of each of us, there are 39 trillion bacteria. There's roughly 30,000 species of bacteria. We're learning that these bacteria may not just be influencing, but perhaps may be in control of our metabolic health, our mental health, our immune health, our hormonal health, our overall health. Think of your bacteria like a diverse ecosystem where everything is working together to survive in harmony. There are some snakes and mosquitoes, but we need them too, because without them, the whole ecosystem falls apart. If your gut health is poor, you have a very limited amount of species living there. It's like this wasteland. There's not much living. And we're finding that this lack of diversity leads to metabolic health and mental health problems and a bunch of other health problems. Having microbial diversity means that the bacteria are working together in symbiotic relationships, and it's helping reverse a lot of the mental and metabolic health problems. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. We should all just eat healthier, exercise more, and stop making excuses. Well, if we all know that's the case, why do some of us do it and others do not? Could it be that perhaps microbes are driving our impulses? This could be great news for people that are struggling with these things and other conditions, because scientists are finding a link between our gut health and these problems.
It blew my mind, because I was like, wow, that is so telling, you know, that we stigmatize people's weight based on like what they eat, how much exercise they do, what they do and don't do. But we rarely take into consideration that there are certain people, like maybe I eat more because I have a certain gut bacteria, or maybe I have a parasite and the parasite is the thing in there telling me to eat more. Or maybe none of the above and I just have really low willpower. It's just one of those things that gets you thinking, like, what really is it? Why am I the way that I am? And what causes me to do the things that I do? And of course, I've been talking about, you know, I do therapy and I've been trying to get to the bottom of it, but we don't really know. But down at the base of it, I could be trying harder, you know. Hi! How's my guy? Dinosaur bones? Whoa. Did you get anything else? Feel the bed. That's a new blanket. You like it? Yeah, it's good. Wow, this outfit is so stinking cute. Cowboy boots, Dad.
You're stinking cute.
They are stinking cute. I don't remember what I was talking about, but honestly, I feel like all I was really just saying is like, there's definitely got to be some kind of change that I make somewhere soon. I just feel like if I don't, it's going to get ahead of me. And I'm well aware that I have every bit of control in this, but there's definitely something to be said for just the shift. It's very odd for me. Like, I've always had issues with overeating, and I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which makes it extremely difficult to lose weight. The only time I've ever really lost a significant amount of weight was doing very strict keto. And even then, I've tried it again since then, very strict, just the same way that I did initially. And it's like my body is just not responding. I don't know why. That's the thing. I don't want to do any crash diets. I don't want to do anything like that. I just want to like do what's called like intuitive eating or mindful, or just eating a healthy, balanced diet. And I need just to exercise some. Like, that's kind of what I'm looking to do, something just balanced and normal. And I feel like from our childhood, we just got really screwed up somewhere along the line where, you know, the type of media that we were seeing all the time was that Jessica Simpson was fat, and it's like Jessica Simpson was a perfectly healthy weight. And it was just that, I feel like that's all we were seeing anywhere, was celebrities that were just softer if you didn't have rock hard abs, you were considered fat, and they would post you all over the tabloids. Like, I feel like the early 2000s, mid 2000s were just really toxic for this. And then it always shifts, I feel like, over time. A lot of people are pushing back against that, you know, sort of messaging that we all need to be like exactly thin and perfectly blah blah. But it's like really tough because like for me growing up, it was Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton and Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson. Like I know this dates me a little bit, but it's what I grew up around. Like magazines were, all they would do is sit around and talk about, you know, people's weight and how much weight they could lose and how they looked fat at here, XYZ, and like The Biggest Loser was all over the TV and The Swan, all these like terrible TV shows. And so I have a really unhealthy mindset when it comes to food in general, because I grew up with all of that. So it takes a lot to kind of dismantle that and get into a healthy frame of mind. It's very difficult though, I will say, because it is not something that I gravitate towards naturally. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, ew. I'm very much like, I don't have that feeling of caring what other people think about me. But when I do catch glimpses of myself, sometimes I'm like really like, whoa, I didn't realize that I looked like that, or I didn't, you know, it's so fascinating. So that's really it for this video. I didn't really have anything else to say other than I wanted to talk about it because I want to make a change, but I also don't want to make it this like big declaration. I shouldn't have even probably talked about it online, but I thought it was really fascinating that I find myself noticing mentality shift that I went through where it's like this food equals comfort thing. And I don't know if you guys have any tips or suggestions, or like, should I talk to a nutritionist? I did. So I actually talked to a nutritionist. I saw somebody that I follow. They were suggesting this fitness coach / nutritionist. And so me and my husband were paying like hundreds of dollars monthly for this. And I felt like it was the most useless bullshit thing I ever done in my entire life. We quit doing it after like, I don't know, maybe we did it for like 6 months or something. And when we were doing it, we're like, this is actually useless. We would just send them like what we would eat and send them like our progress, which was literally never anything because we were having such a hard time with the progress. I would never lose any weight. I would never do well at all. I was like not doing great. I was like looking for some sort of guidance, and they'd just be like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, are you just trying to keep me in this program longer? Because this isn't working. My camera died. Today is the next day. My husband is in there finishing cleaning up the room right now, so it is not done. I can't show you like the before and after as my kitchen because we are doing full blown like laundry, getting the house ready, clean. For what? To get messed up again? I don't know. What I was gonna say at the end of this was, I think what I'm gonna do, and I think what's really gonna help me, is something I've really never tried before, and that I see a lot of people that are doing well with their fitness goals, with staying on their plan doing, and that is meal prepping. I think if I have delicious, healthy meals prepped and ready to go, I'll be much more likely to stick to it, especially being a mom, especially being busy, and having the portions correctly all there, having like healthy snacks meal prepped out. So I think that's where I'm gonna try to work on this. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Try to be kind in the comments if you can. Obviously, I don't really know. I'm just a person living this life, doing what I do, and I'm trying to figure out why I do the things that I do. I think we're all trying to figure that out. I have crash diet mentality. I have that do Atkins, do keto, do XYZ plan. I have that mentality, and so it's very hard for me to get out of it and to just live a healthy lifestyle and to let the weight come off slowly. But that's what I want to do because I feel like it's the only way that's going to be actually attainable and sustainable for me to have like that longevity and for health, you know? So if you guys know of anything that would be really helpful, maybe even a book that I could read or something that could help my mentality, that would be awesome, because I need to get out of diet culture mentality of like bust ass, lose all the weight, go back to eating unhealthy, gain it all back. Like I'm this yo-yo. I'm a yo-yo. I did sleep for the first night with the new comforter set, and oh, absolutely divine. And I feel like it really was all season. Like it worked for him trying to stay warm, and it worked for me staying cool. Literally perfect. Don't forget, if you guys are wanting to check out Brooklinen, to use the link in the description of this video where you guys can get 25% off of all their ultimate bestseller. You guys can use code bestseller25 at checkout to get that 25% off. And again, I'm gonna have all the information down in the description of this video. So thank you again to Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys at my next video. Bye.